Stick figure standing on a pile of clay tablets, looking bored. Text on screen, you know the pyramids. You don't know this. VO, before Egypt built a single pyramid, before Greece had a single philosopher, a group of people in the mud between two rivers invented almost everything you use today. And YouTube barely talks about them. Visual map animation, a river delta forms, stick figures build small huts, then a city rises. Around 4000 BC, in what's now Iraq, a civilization called Sumer popped up between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. No one knows exactly where they came from. Their language isn't related to any other language on Earth, living or dead. It just appears. Fully formed. Like someone hit installed on civilization. Visual, stick figure with a question mark over its head, shrugging. Visual, stick figure counting sheep with pebbles, then pressing marks into clay. Writing wasn't invented to tell stories or write laws. It was invented to track goats. Sumerian accountants got tired of carrying bags of tokens to count livestock and grain, so they started pressing symbols into wet clay instead. That accounting shortcut became cuneiform, the first writing system in human history. Literature came almost 1,000 years later, as a side effect. Visual, a stick figure in a priestess headdress writing on a tablet, stars around her. Most people can't name a single Sumerian. But history's very first author whose name we actually know wasn't a king or a general, it was a priestess named Enheduanna, who wrote poetry to the goddess Inanna over 4,300 years ago. She signed her work. That makes her the first person in recorded history to claim authorship of anything, ever. Visual, angry stick figure holding a tablet, stomping toward a merchant stall. In 1750 BC, a Sumerian customer named Nani got scammed on a copper shipment. So he did what any of us would do, he wrote a furious complaint. It survived. It's now called the Nazir tablet, and it's officially the oldest customer complaint letter on Earth. 4,000 years later, the internet turned this angry merchant into a meme. Visual, tablet morphs into a modern one-star review screen. Visual, stick figure holding a clock face, a beer mug, and a scroll of laws. Sumerian split the hour into 60 minutes and the circle into 360 degrees, that's why clocks and compasses look the way they do today. They wrote the earliest known law code, centuries before Hammurabi. And they left us the oldest written beer recipe, dedicated to the goddess of brewing. Time, law, and beer, arguably still the three pillars of modern society. Visual, stick figure looks directly at camera, clay tablet stack behind him fading into modern skyscrapers. VO, every contract you've signed, every clock you've checked, every angry review you've left online, it all traces back to a few farmers in the mud who got tired of losing count of their sheep. Sumer didn't just start history. It wrote the manual for civilization. Text on screen, subscribe if you want more forgotten firsts.